everywhere. And welcome back. 50th class. Time goes by, we don't even realize. Am I now loud enough? Clear enough? Okay. How time goes by, and already in the Gita class, we are on the 50th session. So much ground is covered, and so much is still to be covered. We just, nothing in the number, but it's just a way of reminding ourselves that there has to be a continuous anugraha of Ishvara, of Bhagavan, and here in this context, Krishna himself, that we are able to hear and know these words, learn these things, learn something that is so subtle that having heard it, we can miss it. So a constant hearing and reminder and trying to understand is all that is required from our end. And sure enough, Shastra Anugraha opens, and the perception that it lends us, the knowledge that it gives us, is definitely a way towards liberation, even relative and of course absolute. So I'm continuing to invoke Bhagwan's Anugraha, that may we be able to complete the sessions meaningfully and benefit in our life from it. So I'll do the chanting. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Paramparam Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badaraya Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Om Sahanatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti. A few verses. I will chant 48 to 50. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate durena hyavaram karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya buddhau sharanamanvichcha kripana phalahitavaha buddhi yukto jahatiha ubhe sukruta dushkrute Tasmad yogaya yujyasva Yogah karmasu kaushalam. So, on the aspect of Karma Yoga, Krishna is revealed as elaborated, as expounded. What is the nature of one's consciousness? What is the nature of awareness? This question needs to be reminded again and again. We need to dwell upon it because it is not a natural question, or rather, let me rephrase this. It is not a question which seems to have any utility towards our life. A question, even if you get an answer for, we feel there is no utility. What is the use of knowing more about consciousness? How will I apply it? How do I gain from it? So there seems to be no utility tag associated around the questions of one's existence and one's nature is how we perceive. Shastra says that such questions that deal with your pure existence, the nature of your existence, are by very swabhav of the question, the questioner gets freedom from all limited existence in time, space, causation. Factors that can affect your birth will be time, space, and causation. The questioner who applies their thinking or applies their jignasa, desire to know the nature of your own existence, your own consciousness, awareness. Who am I? What is this knowingness that I have? How does it operate? Where is it located? Where does it stem from? Is it something that is unique only to human beings? Are there gradations in consciousness for different people? Is consciousness changing? Sometimes I say I'm very sleepy, sometimes I say I'm very bright, sometimes I say I'm very alert. So does consciousness change with these? Do my moods affect the consciousness? Does happening in the world have an impact on consciousness? It has an impact on me for sure, but does it have an impact on consciousness? When one starts to think about these questions, normally people don't pursue it enough, even if one has it, because there is no utility value to it, as we think. But Shastra is telling us that these questions will also arise in you. And when they arise in you, they are not casual questions. They are not questions that are going to be equivalent to saying, how do I go here and how do I do this? And it's not going to be a casual nature. The one in whom these questions arise, the answer seeking seems very urgent to them. It's as urgent as a hungry person needs food. The intellect of such a person who's awakened to these questions, or in whom the questions are awakened, to that person the answers are like food for a hungry being. That state where the questions are naturally there comes because of a certain maturity of thinking. Ramana said, I just read recently and it helped me to reminded me. What is mind but just mere thoughts? There is only thoughts, there is no mind. Now when there is only thoughts, then in this verse, Krishna's and Bhashyakara, Shankara is going to say, there is a paripakwata. Paripakwata means a maturity of thinking. One has to develop one's thinking. That paripakwata of thinking will arrive. You will come to it. Those questions will come when the mind is matured and doesn't dwell upon those instant gratifying things of the world. It's not preoccupied by too many things from the world. Even if it is preoccupied between two activities, there is a leisure in the mind and the mind is resolved into thinking of this. It just arises, that thought just comes up. मन में आता है, जैसे हमको मन में बातें आती हैं, इसकी बात, उसकी बात, यहाँ से, वहां से, उसने ये कहा, उसने वो कहा. Now the minute you are relaxed, if you're doing nothing, your mind goes into things of conversations had with people, of meetings you had, of things you have to do. Do you put in an effort to think that? मन जाता है, अपने आप जाता है. परिपक्व मन की स्थिति, जब मन पका है एज इन जब मन में मैच्योरिटी है, मन बिल्कुल वैसे ही इन प्रश्नों पे जाता है, नेचुरली जाता है. It's not interested in 1,000 things that pertain to the world. It is interested in the 1,000 things that are pertaining to the world. Where is it located? कहाँ है ये सब? Is it outside? Is it inside? If it is inside, then it must be really small. If it is so small, because how much is my body frame? Where in my body frame would consciousness be? Where in my body frame would awareness be located? Is it an organ? How does consciousness seep through my indriyas? Seep through my indriyas means, how does it travel through the indriyas? How does it express through the indriyas? How does it activate the indriyas? How do my eyes see? How do my ears hear? Such matured mind is ready for Brahma Gyan, is ready to get the answer, to receive the answer. जब मन में वो प्रश्न व्याकुल करता है किसी को और परेशान करता है, and it can take months and years sometimes before a right person comes in your life to give you the right answer. It can take janmas also for some people. What happens through that travel? The question remains functioning. You are seeking an answer. As per your gati, that answer seeking has come from where? That desire to know, a desire you find yourself to know. मुझे जानना है. Like today we have a desire to know the Gita, Bhagavad Gita. If we didn't have a desire to know the Bhagavad Gita, we can't sustain 50th class also today. We can't sustain classes for so long. There is a desire. And that desire, whatever my idea may be to know this knowledge, but there is a strength in the desire for it to pull me to the subject enough to leave things behind and attend the subject. Hear the words, even if they seem so alien initially. I'm still going through the rigor of wanting to learn. that readiness in a mind comes. शास्त्र में बहुत स्टेप वाइज प्रक्रिया दे दी. That maturity, when you find your mind dwelling on these questions, comes from Karam Yoga. Karam Yoga is the stepping stone. Karam Yoga के अलावा you will not find your mind stable enough or quiet enough, relaxed enough, persistent enough to pursue this question. Because Karam Yoga brings the mind to certain level of collection. मन को इकट्ठा करना, मन को बिठाना, मन को ठहराना, कि जो सूक्ष्म विचार आ रहे हैं, सुन रहे हैं, उसको मन ग्रहण कर ले. एंड देन मन उस पे रुक जाए. एंड धीरे धीरे मन में आनंद भी बहुत आता है. One gets joy out of the knowledge also. So, what is Karam Yoga? Because till I find myself a very natural thinker on the subject, Vedanta, issues of the existence that one has, till one has such an outlook, one is bound to be attached to pursuing other things in life. What is that Karam Yoga which will bring this ठहरना मन का, a maturity of the mind? He said, first start with the knowledge and acceptance. That understand your limit. आपकी मर्यादा, आपका अधिकार, आपकी limit of purusharth. What is that line? What is your limit of purusharth? Identify that. Not in words, but actual situations, actual life occurrences. The Viveka Buddhi should be there to know what is my field of karma, what is it that I ought to be involved with doing, and what is it that is not my field of karma, जो मेरे jurisdiction में नहीं है. So, established in yoga means here, he said, do your actions, identifying your limit of what you can do, and then sangam tyaktva, leave the mind free, or rather bring the mind back when it goes into the future of its outcomes, possibilities, bring it back and put it back into the action. Channelize the mind, channelize your purusharth into what you can do, and not allow the dissipation. Discipline yourself, discipline the mind, prevent the dissipation of mind going into the future zones, if this, if that, etc., etc. Rest your mind in doing what should be done. Tyaktva means छोड़कर. ये जो मन जुड़ता है फल से, छोड़कर. Then he defined it clearly. Siddhi asiddhi samatvam samo bhutva. Siddhi, will it accomplish? Will it not accomplish? Will I be successful? Will I not be successful? What will be the outcome? What will not, etc., etc. in success and failure of your Purusharth, make your mind sama. That sama, evenness, sameness, seeing success and failure as same, means what? Here, to complete the verse, Krishna says that samatvam itself is called yoga. In the 47th verse, he says, be attached to yoga. Your karma is your adhikar. 48th verse, he said that samatvam is yoga. What is samatvam? He said somewhere, samatvam is where a lot of people, what do you think is samatvam? What does anybody think is samatvam here in this context? What do we understand?
Not getting influence. So when your mind does not react to praise or criticism, in a sense, it is so still that your behavior will never change, whether you. Yeah.
Excellent. And how do you practice it? Why you are where you are?
You will in life, DPG, someone will praise you, someone will, say, oh, lovely things about you. So at that time, probably it's best not to take it too seriously and say, oh, and sometimes even your mind plays those games. It will elaborate you and it will say, oh, मैं तो ये करती हूँ, मैं तो वो करती हूँ. So that phase you have to tell your mind, you are not doing anything. It's fine. It doesn't, I mean, that's your dharma, you have to do it. That's it. Just close the matter. I see it happening a lot with me, so that's how I quieten it. So, yeah.
Very good. Very good. Yes. Is it only praise and censure? Where else? Be equal in everything. Okay. Where else? How do you do this? In every day. What else is Karam Yoga? First and foremost, let me redo this. Restate this. Samatvam yoga uchyate. It doesn't mean it's an established state, that your mind is always going to remain sane. Samatvam yoga uchyate means the prayatnam for samatvam is called yoga. The effort you put in to keep your mind equanimous in translation, siddhi asiddhi. The effort you put in, prayatna jo karte hain, to keep the mind same in siddhi or asiddhi, wo prayatna is called samatvam, is called yoga. Because finally samatvam comes only with Atma Vidya. But in the context of yoga, the very effort for it. So now how do you do this now? Okay, praise and censure. What else is happening every day? She has said it well, but if you think about it in terms of everyday life, Karma Yoga is a matter of everyday life. It's where you are, with whom you are, in the midst of your activity, in your field of activity.
Ishwar Arpitam.
Ishwar Arpitam, excellent. He said it. What will give you Ishwar Samatvam is going to be Ishwar Arpitam. But I'm talking about, yes, that's fine. If one can do it, excellent. Yes, you're right, Dipali.
To be completely involved wherever you are, or like whatever action you are doing. Like for example, when we do Ashtanga yoga also, they say focus. The mind keeps going to and fro, but try getting it back to your breath. But also when we are doing our actions or like studying, doing our work, the mind may go haywire, but we try to uh, make it back to our action, whatever we are doing.
Correct. Fine. That's also fine. That's one of the ways. In everyday life, supposing you have a meeting somewhere and it's a deadline or an appointment say 5:30, and you planned it well. You are very diligent, and you left on time, but there was an unseen situation on the road, and likely it's going to affect your reaching time. What will happen to the mind?
It will start running to consequences.
It will?
Start running to consequences. Oh, I'm getting late. Oh, now this will happen. Oh. So it will start extrapolating the situation, which is already bad.
Correct.
It may
Now,
get
what did he...
anxious.
Sorry?
It may get anxious, like
It will get anxious. But what is getting affected? What is happening?
The
things are
breath,
getting
the
out of
body,
control,
Sorry?
the
Losing
breath,
peace
the
of
body.
mind.
You lose your peace of mind. Absolutely. What
and
else?
things may seem to get out of control of your hand. Like
Right. Things will look out of control. Correct.
Your body will get impacted first the breath. You will start, your breathing will be impacted.
Absolutely. Now, you are a diligent person, one. You planned well, two. Even if you took into account that I may get late, you don't want to get late. You are a principled person. You're a disciplined person. Now, that ego of yours, that identity of yours is getting impacted. When you get late, what is the first thing if you are already a person who's casual, फर्क नहीं पड़ता है देर से जाने से, will you get affected in the same manner as a person who was disciplined to reach on time? It's not going to be the same. He may get disturbed for another reason. Maybe that person he has to meet has a big project to sanction, and maybe you'll have a loss. His mind can go there. So you realize that every day you called your helper at a time, but the helper didn't come. Every situation, every day has all possibilities of them coming your way, the way you want it, or not your way. In the sense, that's not how you wanted it. Everything in life, in your day, anything can go anywhere. It can be according to how you expected. It can be according to how you wanted. It can be according exactly as you liked it, or it need not be. It may be anything else. It can be opposite also. Now, if it is absolutely as you liked it, what will be your state of mind? You planned it well and you reached on time. What will be your...
Happy.
What sort of a happiness is that?
Achievement.
Excellent. That's Siddhi. That's called Siddhi. In this verse, what is said as Siddhi? There is a sense of achievement, a very subtle sense of achievement. There is a subtle sense of accomplishment, a certain sense of fulfillment, a certain sense of thappa marna apne pe. Yes, I did it. Sounds very encouraging, correct, from the worldly standpoint. We are talking Karma Yoga here now. Now, supposing you reached a little late, not very late. You reached a little late, 15 minutes late. What will happen to you?
Confidence will be down.
Excellent. It'll be a little down, but not so bad, because 15 minutes is a little accommodable. It's okay. Just you're not punishing yourself. But if you were 45 minutes late and your meeting was only scheduled for say 1 hour, but you reached 45 minutes late. What will happen to the mind?
It will dwell on everything negative.
Asiddhi, the sense of non-accomplishment, the sense of failure, the sense of incompleteness, the sense of etc. Same action. If it's getting your way, if you have managed, if things happened, there was no traffic and your car had the petrol, you didn't have to stop by to fill the petrol, and everything went smooth, there were no red lights on the road, and you reached on time. Wow, there is an extra spring in your gait. You're bouncing because you're feeling confident. But at the minute you leave and then you curse and then you say, oh, everything's going wrong today. I am getting all the red lights today. This is happening. That is happening. कुछ I must have got from the wrong side of the bed today. आज का तो मेरा दिन ही खराब है. आज का तो यही है. आज का तो वही है. And you think this is all very natural. ये तो ऐसे ही होना चाहिए ना? Because nothing's happening the way I wanted it. Therefore, something must be wrong. कुछ तो हुआ है. You know, and then you blame Papa. Must be some papam. I must have done something. Therefore, Papa karma file. Therefore, everything's gone wrong. Oh my God. Therefore, everything's gone wrong. If everything goes right, must be my punyam, must be my good luck, must be something great. Even if I say that, but it is all concluding to me and my identity. Is this getting clear? Is that clear? It's actually telling me my identity and it's defining me stronger and stronger. मेरे अहंकार को वो बढ़ा रहा है. Whether it is siddhi or it is asiddhi. And I jump only between these two. There is no in between for me. If I've reached on time, siddhi. If I'm a little late, I'm a little disturbed. If I'm very late, I'm very disturbed. Asiddhi. Now, what is samatvam? When I reach on time,
I am okay.
That feeling of accomplishment is what I give as arpan. I do arpanam, Ishwar arpanam. My karma that I have come for in that meeting, I do Ishwar arpanam. Whatever comes out of this meeting, I accept it as my best. And Ishvara, the lawgiver, the fruit giver, will give me accordingly. So whatever comes, as long as I have done my best. If I could do better, next time I will try to do better. But did I do my best just now? That's my attention. And if it was a siddhi, what is samatvam then? How will you bring it to samatvam?
Telling your mind, telling your mind it could have happened to anybody. It happened to you, that's a different story, but it could have happened to anyone.
Correct. Yes.
And it's not permanent, like it keeps changing, like if something
Yeah, up and
wrong
down are a part of life.
Correct.
So,
There, even that you will do arpanam. I tried and now whatever happens. But my mind, I am stabilizing it to not get too elated and neither the opposite of it, not get dejected. Not call myself successful, not call myself a failure. I'm not labeling myself. I'm not concluding who I am based on what things are happening around. I'm not adding to my own identity around these which are accomplishments or not. I'm not taking them as a value structure to define who I am. Samatvam yoga uchyate. This prayatnam that one does for balancing And it happens throughout the day. Something or the other that we hold as ourselves, our identity, gets impacted in some situation or the other, and your mind gets a throwback. Oh, this is not how it was supposed to be. And you tend to be reactive. There are a lot of workshops in the world, even I did initially once. Responsive versus reactiveness of the mind. Yeah. To be responsive, but not to be reactive. So you realize that samatvam means the reactiveness that one has, that instant reactions that come out. They are the ones that you are gradually bringing your mind in practice to an equanimity, to some sort of a balance of not getting elated and not allowing yourself to be defined when things don't go your way. Between the two, because you are neither what your fruits are, good or bad. Your identity, your existence is free of all of that anyway. But today, what is this? What is the condition? Today we hold ourselves attached to the fruits. My happiness has come from me reaching on time. And my happiness is gone if I didn't reach on time. Happiness is gone, has got replaced with unhappiness. And unhappiness is not even my nature. But I am calling myself, I am angry. I am so frustrated. I can punch someone today. I want to, because nothing's going right. Karma Yoga starts here. And it's just a gradual persistence of every day. Wherever one, that's why I always say, Karma Yoga and introspection are like two pedals of a cycle, two wheels of the cycle, two pedals of a cycle rather. Introspection is very necessary. Introspection means self, not judgment, not evaluation, observation. Sorry, what did you say? Reflection. But not judgment and no, self-observation is the right thing. Self-observation. You know, when you, very interesting, however much we think we are. I was going down for a walk, and when I came up, I suddenly realized I don't remember which side lift I took, right or the left. I couldn't remember. I go down in a lift. When I'm coming up, I don't remember which lift did I come down from. And suddenly I realized, oh, my mind must have been occupied for me. It's so mechanical. You just... Second day I said, okay, today I'll try again. Sure enough, just about when I entered, coming up, I realized, oh, again I've forgotten, even though I told myself I'll remember. It took me 4 days. The 4th day, before I was entering the lift, I was aware. Am I entering the left side? Am I entering the right side? But it took me 4 days of practice. Self-observation. What is this example coming to? Karma Yoga works with self-observation, alertness. क्योंकि हमारे मन के भाव है ना, हमारा reaction है. And we take it for granted. And like Arjuna, most of us are justifying who we are anyway. Why do we need karma? In fact, why should I say most of us? All of us. Either we are all of us, or whoever is in Jnana Yoga, who's establishing in Jnana Yoga, certainly may not apply to them at a very high, advanced, greater level. But to all of us, Siddhi Asiddhi, this is a big, big, big breakthrough in a जीवन, आध्यात्मिक जीवन में it is a big breakthrough. प्रयत्न का अगर लाभ है, लाभ means श्रेयस की तरफ ले जाने वाला, is in everyday life when a mind is held sama. Everyday situation. That's why Karam Yoga doesn't ask anybody to leave anything. And that is how, for all of you, which is a question that Dipali is always asking, how do you do Ishwar Arpanam? This is how you come to Ishwar Arpanam. I am doing this in my capacity. I tried reaching in time. In my capacity, I am doing what I can do. But with a finite and a limited capacity, I am not lazy. I am not sitting back. I am not making excuses. Taking care of all of that. I am doing what I am supposed to do. What comes out of it, I don't know. I leave it. So Ishwar Arpanam means here my effort that I am putting in, firstly, is no situation is in my hand, nothing is in my favor, not all factors are in my control. And when I'm doing Ishwar Arpanam, I am trying to understand that I am not doing it because I alone want something from it. I'm doing it. Let this be benefiting whoever around. If nothing, samashti. Samashti means totality. I am doing the karma to make my mind balanced. Samatvam ke liye, because fruit will affect me. When I start an action, if I'm a doctor and my patient gets well, I'm bound to be happy. But what does the profession teach you? Who is a professional? The great field to practice Karma Yoga. How do you become? Who's a professional? What's the attitude there? When the patient gets happy?
Dharma.
Sorry?
It's your dharma. It's your dharma. You're supposed to do everything in your capacity to ensure your patient gets well.
And when he gets well?
There is happiness, obviously, Ji, but yeah, you just Ishwar Arpitam.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. There is contentment. There is a validity. Yes, your thinking is on the right direction because it's helping someone. But this is Ishvara creation. You are helping totality. You're working, not helping. Helping is an English term. You're just working for totality. That's it. And therefore, Siddhi Asiddhi Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. The benefit that he is saying of, he's coming now gradually towards it. O Arjun, O Dhananjaya, instead of accumulating wealth, material wealth in the world alone, accumulate the wealth of Chitta Shuddhi. Chitta Shuddhi is also called, what was it, Sampatti?
Man Sampatti.
Sorry?
Man Sampatti. Buddhi.
Correct. Buddhi. Antakarana Samshuddhi is your, what is it? We did it in Tattvabodh also. Anyway, I forget that. Doesn't matter. But make this your wealth. Shat Sampatti. Shama Dama Adi, Titiksha, Samadhan, Shraddha, Shat Sampatti. the wealth of these qualities. I am doing the karma because karma is purifying. It gives me a chance to purify my feelings, purify my ahankar, purify my impulses, purify my result-orientedness. Karma is actually a field of purification. It purifies. Because karma purifies, I am engaged in karma. When I do it with this idea, it becomes nishkama. If there is no karma done, I don't know what all impulses my antakaran holds. If I am not going for a meeting ever, I am sitting at home and I don't know if a red light comes, will I be disturbed or not? If I reach late, will I be disturbed or not? I don't know that. Because at home, when I'm sitting by myself, I'm a very calm, quiet, composed person. Nothing's going wrong anyway. As much as possible, as etc. You get the spirit of the example. I'm Shant. Now, karma means what? The need for karma is whose? जिसको ज्ञान का अभी जिज्ञासा इतनी नहीं है, जिसको अभी फल की इच्छाओं की इच्छा है, जिसके मन में अभी अतृप्ति है, जो जुड़ा हुआ है with anger, with fear, with frustration, with wantings, with happiness, seeking, you're joined with all that, जुड़ा हुआ है. To him, to her is said, field of activity according to your swadharma, you are engaging in karma because karma is directly showing you a mirror. Your field of activity reveals to you what is inherently held within. Your impulses that are held within. Your field of activity is revealing that, and therefore you get a chance to tweak, as I was saying last class, tweak your mind and with its attitudes. Where you need auto-correction, where you need self-correction, how much that tweaking starts to happen. And therefore, it becomes nishkama karma. And such a karma is leading to chitta shuddhi because you are purifying yourself. That chitta shuddhi, when it comes to, he says, is very high, lower and very, very low compared to this kind of a way of doing your karmas. This technique of doing karma, compared to this yoga buddhi se karam kiya hua karam, compared to that yoga buddhi se karam kiya hua karam, जब कर्म फल की इच्छा से किया जाता है तो वो कर्म बहुत निकृष्ट है. It is avaram. There is no connection. There is huge difference. Durena. There is a huge difference. By far. It's not a small difference. It's a huge difference. फल की इच्छा से कर्म किया हुआ कर्म, compared to that, योग बुद्धि से किया हुआ कर्म, फल इच्छा कर्म is very nikrishta, very low. Why is it low also? They give a reason. Why is it low? He said, it is adhamam. Adhamam. Low. Phalarthena. Compared to the ones जो फल की इच्छा रखते हुए कर्म करते हैं. Why am I going for a meeting? Why am I running? Why am I getting disturbed? Because I'm getting late. Because there is a desire. फल की इच्छा है. That I want to be disciplined. Even that is a फल. फल arthena. That फल arthi is very, very gross way of doing karma. Why? Because he said, compared to buddhi yogat, compared to the buddhi yoga. Why? Which is samatva buddhi yuktat karmanaha. बुद्धि योग जो समत्व बुद्धि से कर्म कर रहे हो, compared to that samatva buddhi से कर्म किया हुआ, that attitude, that outlook, that way of doing karma is very high. Phalarthi ka karam is very adhamam, low. Why? Because the higher karma, janma maranadi hetutvat, the higher karma will free you from it, and the lower way, फल अर्थी होके जब कर्म करोगे तो वो फल अर्थी will become the हेतु. फल की इच्छा रखना ही एक हेतु बन जाएगा, रीजन बन जाएगा for your janma and marana. Nothing can be more clearer in life than this knowledge. Why should sakamata not be my motive? When everybody is running after money and everybody runs after status and wealth and for their sake and therefore दुनिया तो यही करती है, आप भी यही करो. They don't know this. The minute somebody knows this, sakamata falls from you. आपका मन छोड़ देता है because it starts to see कि इसमें तो कुछ फायदा नहीं है. Our mind will always be running after fal anyway. When it runs after fal of this low nature, when buddhi gets educated that this is only giving you janma and maran ka karan, but if you do fal ichha chhod ke karam, then it frees you not only from this, it establishes you, it grows you, and it's an upward spiral after that. Therefore, hey Dhananjaya, yataha evam, because this is the reason. On what grounds is this karma avaram? When done sakam, it is janma, marana, hetu. Therefore, it is avaram. Therefore, O Dhananjaya, tataha yoga vishayayam buddhau. With this buddhi established in the topic of yoga, कर्म योग में अपनी बुद्धि को जमाए रखो, टिकाए रखो. निश्चयात्मिका बुद्धि, निश्चय कर लो कि अब जो कर्म हम करेंगे, जितना हमारा कैपेसिटी, that much I will start कर्म, I will abide in कर्म योग. And what is कर्म योग? Samatva is कर्म योग. And why should I do that? He said, Tat paripaka jayava sankhya buddhau sharanam ashrayam. He says, from this yoga vishaya, jab pakti hai wo, so it makes you qualified for sankhya buddhi, for jnana buddhi. You are able to receive atma and atma vivek. You are able to understand. Karma yoga is no longer luring to you. The fruits of the world are no longer luring you. The efficiency formulas no longer lure you. Stress management doesn't lure you. It doesn't. Even disturbance, if you're disturbed, it makes no difference to you because you know this disturbance is not you. It's no longer fascinating. That, yes, if something is not going your way, you are bound to be, I'm not affected by that either. Let the mind be affected. I'm not affected because my attention is on, I am distinct from this, but I still do not know who I am. I can see I'm distinct, but I do not know who I am. Therefore, I get ready for Sankhya Buddhi. So he said, Krishna says, here Shankara says, Hey Dhananjaya, you have earned wealth. You are a very qualified person. You are a very disciplined person. You are a very able person. You are collected so much in life. Keep yourself sharanam, ashrayam. Take the ashraya of Ashray means what? I don't know what the some English term should be for it. Take your surrender in, take your refuge in. Let your mind, buddhi take refuge in either Karam Yoga or it has already matured you. Therefore, Sankhya Yoga. Let it be taking hold of this. Why? Because Sankhya Yoga is abhaya prapti karanam. When you allow your mind to be yoked to Karam Yoga or Sankhya Yoga, your first change in you that you will find is the insecurities dissolve to quite an extent. Averagely, what people get disturbed by insecurities, those average insecurities don't bother you. You are free of it. Fears of all kinds, fear of loss of someone, fear of loss of something, those fears are, if you're in Karam Yoga, they are reduced to quite an extent compared to an average non-Karam Yoga state of your own being. He said, Abhaya Prapti, it gives you fearlessness. Fear is a direct symptom of samsara. Shastra says this again and again. And only the one who has done Karam Yoga can see the difference of the fearlessness. Doesn't mean recklessness. Fearlessness is not carelessness. There's a real unconcern about a future possibility and its insecurity. It's a genuine unconcern. You just know in laws, you trust the laws. So you don't have much, if something changes, it will change to give me something. Nothing ever happens in the world without giving me something back. It's okay. There is very little. Karam Yoga doesn't free you completely from it, but it reduces it. Abhaya prapti karanam. Anvicha prarthayasva. May you take refuge in that. Seek that. Paramartha jnana sharanam bhava ityarthaha. Because Sankhya Buddhi. See, now what is happening? We start our life averagely, default, conditioned by the life around us, people around us, by our system of life around us, to work for results. Then Karam Yoga enters. Karam Yoga frees you from some sort of result-orientedness. That prepares your mind, loosens your mind, relaxes your mind. Chitta Shuddhi hoti hai. That Chitta Shuddhi gives you yogyata for jnanam. And that jnana seeking, Paramartha jnana sharanam bhava, you be a seeker of Paramartha jnana, uska sharan lo. That should be your objective. That should be your goal. To know Paramartha jnana. Shastra has it. Shastra has that jnana to give. Shastra doesn't normally find an adhikari to receive, but Shastra has the jnana to give. Paramartha jnana sharanam bhava. Yataha, because avaram karma kurvanaha, those who do these avaram karmas. Very beautiful verse. जो ये अवरम कर्म करते हैं, अवरम कर्म is these low karmas, these phalarthi karmas, they are kripanaha. The phala hetavaha are kripanaha. What is kripanaha? In a laukik sense, in a worldly sense, translated it as कंजूस हैं. They are miser. They are very कंजूस. They are very miser. Who are they? He says they are deenaha. Their minds are very small, constricted. Those who make fal their hetu, phala trishna prayuktaha. Only that obsession for a result is what is what they seek. Being that, he says, they are miser. Why they are miser? Shankara gives an absolutely beautiful contextual understanding. He brings in a statement from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad and therefore gives a Shruti Praman to define who is a Kripanaha, who is a genuine miser. शास्त्र किसको माइजर कहता है, शास्त्र किसको कंजूस कहता है, हम किसको कंजूस कहते हैं नॉर्मल लाइफ में? whom do we call? ये तो बहुत कंजूस है.
Someone who
Doesn't
doesn't
spend money.
spend.
Sorry?
Someone who doesn't spend.
Someone who doesn't spend. Not just spend. Who else is a conjuice? Who
Always
has and
thinking
doesn't
about
spend.
money.
Always thinking about money. Who has but doesn't like to spend. Who actually thinks that if he spends, उसका कुछ घट जाएगा. He will lose something. Who is actually a conjuice? Who thinks that, not hoards. No, not a hoarder. He's not a hoarder. It's an absolute opposite meaning. A conjuice is one who inward feels, if I spend, I will lose. मैं कम हो जाऊं, मेरा कम हो जाएगा कुछ, मेरा घट जाएगा. It's a very identifiable notion. कंजूस is not जो सिर्फ spend नहीं करता है, वो spend इसलिए नहीं करता है, वो देता इसलिए नहीं है क्योंकि उसको लगता है देने से मेरा कम हो जाएगा. If that is a feeling, he is a kripanaha. He is a miser. What does Shastra say who is a miser? Shruti says here, Yova etat aksharam. Gargya viditva asmat lokat praiti sa kripanaha. This is a definition of kripanaha in Shastra. It's beautiful. Worth remembering always. A very inspiring statement. I'll just explain it.
Someone is selfish. So I know why they would call the person Kripanaha, because you're selfish. You're doing it for yourself and not for samashti. So the mindset is very very materialistic and on yourself.
Excellent. Of course. Very good. Yes. He says, Yova, wo jo bhi. Etat aksharam. Aksharam is referring to the, do you remember the word aksharam? What is sharam? Perishable. What is aksharam? Imperishable. That imperishable means Brahman. Whoever etat aksharam aviditva, बिना जाने इस अक्षर ब्रह्मन को जाने बिना, O Gargi, Gargi was a great scholar, O Gargi, अस्मात् लोकात् प्रैति, प्रैति is चला जाता है, इस लोक से, इस जन्म से, इस लोक से, इस लोक means what? मनुष्य लोक. मनुष्य लोक से जो प्रैति on death become goes after death, बिना अक्षरम को जाने, बिना ब्रह्मन को जाने, बिना अपने आप को as ब्रह्मन जाने, जो इस लोक से चला जाता है, सह कृपणः, वो एक्चुअल कृपण है, कृपणः है. This is a Shruti statement. Shruti statement of saying, this is our Yajnavalkya Gargi Samvada. They were having a debate. And in that debate, Yajnavalkya says, he tells, Rishi tells Gargi, it's a conversation, beautiful conversation. And he says, he is a Kripanaha. Now, what is the context? If you're a student of Vedanta and becoming one gradually, thanks to, you will understand the thought flow. The whole thought flow in this verse is, in a moolam, it is like telling us, do karam yog, khatam karo na baat ko, why go long? Actually, what it is saying is, If you do not do Karam Yoga, you are taking to the cycle of Janam and Maran. Sakam Karam is Avaram because it keeps you in the cycle of Janam and Maran. Therefore, Uttishta Arjun, raise your perception, raise your capacity. You can do it. Everyone can do it. You just have to be wanting to do it. You will want to do it when you know the gain of it. When you know what do you get out of doing Karam Yoga. If you just say, okay, after doing Karam Yoga, I cannot even pay attention to how much money I get at the end of the month or how much am I going to earn. If your attention is on that, and if I lose that also, then you are a kripanaha. If I don't work, who will work? If I don't earn for myself, who will earn for me? If I blah, 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 then you are a kripanaha. That do not fall, do not take refuge in such thinking. Make samatvam your goal. When you say make samatvam your goal means conduct your swadharmic activity, be alert of your reactiveness and start balancing it by Ishwararpanam. Do Ishwararpanam. Wherever your mind is deviating into a sense of ahankar, whichever where, arpanam, slowly you will find you are establishing in it, your mind is freed of it, through Ishwararpanam, Prasad, Buddhi, both of them. Sacha Chitta Shuddhi is taking you to Paramartha Jnana Lakshanam, Paramartha Jnana Sharanam, is taking you, is taking you to that context, is taking you to that Jnanam. I don't remember. I believe in chapter 1 we did the word Kripanaha, Arjuna's breakdown situation. I'll also revise. Thank you, Shruti, for reminding. Shruti Bhatia. I did not remember that. So thank you. See, homework doing helps. So, Yova etat aksharam gargi, the one who goes without this. Then there is this is a Shruti Praman. Then in the Dharma Shastras also, in Smriti Praman also, there is a definition. Who is a Kripanaha? He says, Kripanaha ajitendriyaha. Ajitendriyaha means, जिसने इंद्रियों को नहीं जीता. Who's who's a slave of the indriyas. जिसके इंद्रिय उससे डिक्टेट कराते हैं. Oh, I want to see this. Oh, I want to eat this. Oh, I want to hear this. Oh, I'll be miserable if I don't get this. I am a tantrumist if my indriyas are not fulfilled, are not pleased. The one who is a slave to pleasing the indriyas, from Smriti Grantha, bringing it down a little bit to our levels of Karma Yoga application, who is a Kripanaha, who has no sense control. Do not be a Kripanaha. Krishna is telling him, because Buddhau Sharanam Anvichya Prarthayasva, you have to take the refuge in Yoga Buddhi. Why? Because Phala Hetu Wale Kripana hai. They are Kripanaha. They will lose Paramartha Jnanam, they will lose Indriya control, and that Phal Prayukta obsessiveness of Trishna, of Phal, obsession of Phal, will keep them in the disturbed, agitated, and they'll take that as their nature. And that is not who. And when you die without knowing your Brahma Vidya, without knowing who you are, that's your greatest loss. It's a loss of an opportunity. It is worth reflecting. Most people don't reflect this. Most people don't have this cognition. When you die and you do not have a stage better, at least a step better, knowledge than what you have come with. इस जन्म में आप कुछ लेके आए हो, कुछ wisdom लेके आए हो. In this Sharir Yatra, you are going to consolidate some more knowledge. If you do not consolidate more knowledge, and you dissipate your life in just artha and kama, earning yoga and shema. If you spend your life in yoga and shema, remember the Kathopanishad verse also. If you're just going to act to gain, acquire, and then act to preserve what you have acquired. Someone very recently said we are all getting old. So one of our family member was telling us, reminding us, you must make a will. It's time to make wills. It's time to make wills. Means what? You have acquired something. Reminder, you're not going to take it with you. You have to distribute it. So if you have to distribute it at the death time, before that you have to distribute it to avoid complications for others. You have to also acquire something that is going to be taking, that you can take with you. You have to spend your life. Vedic vision is, I'm kind of concluding that statement. Vedic vision is, while a lot of time gets spent in a birth for Sharir Yatra, for sustaining life, your life and your relations, etc., you must also invest some time in something that you will take with you. Because whatever you spend time over here, acquiring things that you're going to leave behind, itna manan to sab kar sakte. This is not difficult. When I write a will, what am I going to write in the will? All my acquisitions and my efforts of preservations that I have put in. That's all that can go in my will. Isn't that enough pratipaksha bhavna to all of us? That this is not adequate. ये तो मैं छोड़ के जा रही हूँ. ये तो मैं छोड़ के जाने वाली हूँ. ये तो नहीं जा रहा मेरे साथ. So what have I also done in a life that I'm taking with me? He said here in this verse, if you take swalpamapi, what is that swalpamapi? Who's going to complete the verse? Swalpamapi dharmasya. Where is that verse? Here, swalpamapi dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. See, now you have already entered the Gita as a study. Bhayat word was used here also. If you do even a little of Karam Yoga, it will free you from the great fear. We did this when we did the verse. What is the great fear? All insecurities, etc. That he has concluded now by saying that it will give you freedom from all kinds of samsaric gati. Now he says in the 50th verse, I hope the 49th is clear. Durena hi avaram karma. Buddhi yogat dhananjaya. Avaram karma. Phal इच्छा रखने वाला कर्म avaram है. बहुत low है. By far, very, 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 no comparison. Therefore, Dhananjaya, be buddhi yuktat. Join with your buddhi. Identify your buddhi. You know, when I started the Gita classes, very interesting this time, because there was a huge gap in between from the last time that I took the Gita classes. So all my books, every verse, kahan ka hai, kya kya hai, where are, you know, all that stuff. So before you start the class, what do you have to do? You have to first collect. Again, remind yourself, where did I keep that? Where are the notes of this chapter? Where is the notes of? Start collecting them. बुद्धि से जुड़ना पड़ता है पहले. बुद्धि युक्ता धनंजय. Identify your reasoning, identify your buddhi, discernment capacity, identify what is it that is your role to do, stick to that role within your swadharma, and then start correction. Then start balancing. Samatvam yoga uchyate. And he's going to give us another definition very soon. And that definition in the 50th verse, he says, when you do karma with samatva buddhi, that itself is kaushalyam of karma. That itself is kushalta. That's right, recording on nahi hai. I forgot to record. Okay, so that itself is kushalta. What is kushalta? That your capacity to do samatvam hoke karma. कर्म में कुशलता उसी को कहते हैं. What do we call kushalta? Who's a very skillful person in the world? In English, if you translate it as skill in action, is karam yoga. What is skill in action? That means the one who's more skillful in action will have more karam yoga. There are some people who are very skilled, even in carpenters. Some carpenters are so precise in their work. Cobblers, carpenters, painters, they're so fine in their work. Are they karma yogis? Who's kushal? What is kushalta? That kushalta, he says, karmasu kushalta, kaushalyam. कर्मों में इसी को कुशलता कहते हैं. What is that कुशलता? बुद्धि युक्तः, बुद्धि से युक्त होकर, जहाति इह, giving up here. To give up what? Ubhe, both. What both? Sukrita. Anybody knows the meaning of sukrita?
अच्छा काम.
Excellent. अच्छा काम. Sukrita. Krita means किया हुआ. Su means अच्छा. Dushkrita.
उल्टा, बुरा काम.
बुरा काम, उल्टा. तो सुकृता किया हुआ काम, जो अच्छा काम किएगा उसका फल क्या होगा?
फल तो देखना नहीं है ना दीदी जी.
By the law of karma, अगर सुकृत
That will
किया,
be good. That will be.
so what is it called? So what is it called? What fal will you get in terms of Shastra's term?
सुफल. सफल, सुफल. हाँ.
लेकिन शास्त्र की भाषा में क्या है ये? सुकृत का.
सुकृत.
Generalized. Punya. Punya. When you do your work correctly, शास्त्रीय दृष्टि से, कर्म किया हुआ सुकर्म का फल पुण्य है. Means it will bring you auspiciousness. आपका फायदा ही होगा, अच्छा ही होगा. If दुष्कर्म किया है तो पाप कर्म, पाप फल है. उभे सुकृत दुष्कृते. आप कर्म फल, whether this is punya or पाप, giving both of them up. कर्म फल, whether ये पुण्य है कि पाप है, सुकर्म है कि दुष्कर्म है, giving both of them up. बुद्धि युक्तः. Remain बुद्धि युक्तः. तस्मात् योगाय युज्यस्व. Yujyasva means fight. May you fight. Tasmat, therefore, for the sake of yoga, योग के लिए, कर्म योग के लिए, समत्व बुद्धि के लिए, कौशल्यम के लिए, योग कौशल्यम के लिए, योगा युज्यस्व. That yoga done with buddhi yukta itself, karmasu kaushalam, is kaushalyam, in karma. So in the 50th verse, he said, Samatva buddhi yuktaha san. Remaining. San means remaining. Karte hue. Samatva buddhi yukt se करते हुए, क्या करते हुए? स्वधर्मम, अपने स्वधर्मम, अनुतिष्ठन, remain doing your swadharma, समत्व बुद्धि युक्त होते हुए. Yat, then, which, फलम प्राप्नोति, फिर इसका फल क्या मिलेगा? समत्व बुद्धि युक्त रहते हुए, स्वधर्म कर्म करते हुए उसका फल क्या मिलेगा? तत् श्रुणु. Listen to that in the following verse now. So in the previous verse, what did he say? अवरम कर्म करेंगे तो क्या होगा? जन्म मरण आदि. Therefore, take resolve in, take refuge in बुद्धि युक्त. बुद्धि युक्त कर्म करने का फल क्या है? That's what we just saw. So we will. Oh, okay, we can do. Buddhi yuktaha, with reference to what is buddhi yuktaha? Samatva vishayaya buddhya yuktaha, buddhi yuktaha. Saha, that person. Jahati, parityajati, parityajati. This much words, if I keep breaking slowly, is understandable a little. Parityajati, gives up. What? Iha asmin loke. Iha, from the verse iha, here. Asmin loke, in this word. Ubhe, Moolam, here. Sukruta, Dushkruta, Punya, Papa. Tattva Shuddhi Jnana Prapti Dvarena. Why should you give them up? Because they are the means for Sattva Shuddhi. Sattva Shuddhi is Antakarna Shuddhi, Mana Shuddhi, Chitta Shuddhi. उसका ज्ञान प्राप्ति का द्वार है ये. बुद्धि युक्त ज्ञान प्राप्ति शुद्ध. I'm repeating the words. बुद्धि युक्त कर्म सुकृत दुष्कृत फल त्यागा हुआ कर्म सत्व शुद्धि का द्वार है. और सत्व शुद्धि द्वार ज्ञान प्राप्ति का द्वार है. Is that link clear? Therefore, tasmat samatva buddhi yogaya yujyasva. Ghatasva means karo. इसको घटो, fight. Yoga hi karmasu kaushalam स्वधर्म आख्येषु कर्मसु वर्तमानस्य या सिद्धि असिद्धयोः समत्व बुद्धि ईश्वर अर्पित चेतसतया. So samatva buddhi comes with Ishvara arpitam. Yoga, such a yoga is karmo me, kaushalyam. कौन से कर्मों का कौशल्य है ये? स्वधर्मम में. जब समत्व बुद्धि रखते हैं between siddhi and asiddhi. And why swadharma again is mentioned? Because karam yoga will only be effective if you stick to swadharma. Paradharam, you will not be effective in karam yoga. Paradharam means following somebody else's duty. You won't be able to be comfortable in doing karam yoga enough for it to give chitta shuddhi. Therefore, the first usage of buddhi is identifying swadharma. And apne swadharma mein rehte hue, doing that karam, that kushala bhava is of the nature of kushalta. Tathi kaushalyam yat bandha swabhavani yapi कर्माणि समत्व बुद्ध्या स्वभावात् निवर्तन्ते. tat hi kaushalyam. It is kaushalyam because कर्मों में जो फल के साथ जुड़ने का जो बंधन है, वो जो उसका स्वभाव है नेचुरल. I think this should be clear to all of us by now. That for the sake of enjoying the karma phal, we take birth again. So that कर्म का फल के साथ जुड़ा है, वो जो स्वभाव है, उसका जो बंधन है, that स्वभाव से समत्व बुद्धि निवर्तन्ते. समत्व बुद्धि उस कर्म के स्वभाव को ही बदल देती है. It's a point of great reflection, and it's actually a very important statement. Tat hi kaushalam bandhana swabhavat karmani samat tasmat samatva buddhi yuktaha bhava. Therefore, he concludes the topic here of Karma Yoga. Samatva buddhi yuktaha bhava. You be one of samatva buddhi. You pursue samatva buddhi. Therefore, he's given the pros and the cons. Very clear. Therefore, follow samatva buddhi. So tomorrow, he's going to shift the gear again a little bit, more in the line of generalizing it, completing the topic, and then glorifying Sankhya Buddhi again in the second chapter. So we will end here. And yes, there is no recording of this today. I forgot. But we'll take something.
Facebook will have it.
So I'll download from Facebook. And also YouTube I've started uploading because I think some people are, though most of you now have stabilized to attend the classes, some people still don't find the time convenient. So I have opened the YouTube links also. So now finally there is more work. You have classes on website links, you have classes on YouTube and on Facebook, and you have a class if you join live, which is the best opportunity, of course. So please don't give that up. Though, of course, whatever. So for revision, I believe some people are finding it difficult because sometimes you have to go back to a previous verse, and with 8 classes, it was becoming difficult to revise the previous verse if you needed to. So I'm just opening everything. So hopefully, I don't know how much I can keep so much alive, but as much as I can, I'll see. So we'll end the class here. I will just chant the Shanti mantra. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu
Bhavatu.
Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhave. Om Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Go Brahmanebhya Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshatu Parjanyaha Prithvi Sasya Shalini Deshoyam Kshobarahitaha Brahmana Santu Nirbhayaha Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Any question, if anybody has, a quick one? Any question anybody has?
Deepti, you said like 80 or 90% of the people, they don't, they are not able to, apart from their materialistic gains, right? But for this knowledge to come your way, right? Because one, they don't have this knowledge. For this knowledge to come your way, you have to be eligible. Like you have to have like some basic foundation, right? So is it like, people are not qualified enough for the knowledge, or, their pursuits are very different and probably, this knowledge does not appeal to them? So is that a right thing to say, or it's just, interest or maybe motivation or or it's pure anugraha, right, Deepti ji? For you to even have this level of knowledge is anugraha, right?
Definitely, what is Anugraha?
Anugraha
Is
is
it a
divine
mystical?
grace.
Is it a mystical, coincidental happening?
No, it's your
Correct.
karma day.
So, how does Anugraha express? Anugraha is another word of saying karma phala. But karma phala gets implied as in laukik karmas. शास्त्रीय कर्म फल is called अनुग्रह, क्योंकि शास्त्र परस्यू करना भी अपने आप में एक कर्म है. Means in the sense that you must have put in the tapas sometime, somewhere, to learn these things, to know these things, some interest. So it fructifies, and it's like a seed was already there, and a right season came and it fructifies. Most people, when children are there, as children, you find many children, that 80-90% of the children have this capacity. They want to. They're not oriented to life fully because the body consciousness is not fully established. So they have some preparation for knowledge. But as we keep growing older, other things take over. So one cannot, there are many reasons. One is interest नहीं रहता, खत्म हो जाता है, या opportunity नहीं मिलती, opportunity खो जाती है, थोड़ा करके छूट जाता है because other things come up, and all these become a part of your own karma phala manifested in this lifetime. If someone's able to pursue it till the end, therefore it's kind of rare, and so we just say this is, like we say sometimes even in the world, if someone's lived up to 80 years, we say this is a blessed jiva. Let's take that blessing, because even Sharir Yatra for 80 years is not easy to conduct. So people are oriented to the senses. That's why Charvakas are 80-90%. They're interested in only Artha and Kama. Dunya mein, what your eyes, what pramad is what your eyes can reveal, what your senses can show. Iske alawa, what is there in life for people? Who's seen anything? You have to have some purva karma anugraha, fructifying in this life, that your seeking gets one step further opportunity to bring it to a closure. I call it a closure. You know how people talk of emotions as a closure, and your seeking of Gyan also needs a closure. Your seeking needs a closure. That's an Atma Gyan. So people have it. Many people just have a casual interest and then choot jata, but that will also get added into the next time strengthening of the thought. Finally, the thing, everybody is seeking their happiness. Their ways are different that they conclude.
Also, Deepti ji, what about the happiness that you get out of materialistic, materialistic gain? In the sense, sometimes you end up buying something. It's very difficult to kind of, that happiness. I know it will get down, like it will reduce eventually, but that time it's very difficult to control that happiness that
You
you
don't
have.
have to. As long as the understanding is there that this is a temporary happiness, I will not depend on it. I will not fool myself to believe that this is real happiness. This is happiness, no doubt. Let me enjoy it. Why not? Why should I suffer in the world?
Not suffer, but keep your emotions, like, don't get too happy or too sad with something in life, right? So
Correct.
how do you keep yourself like the equilibrium going, like, not get too happy with the acquisition or something like that, something. So how do you just,
Because then you understand, then you have to bring in knowledge. If you really want to neutralize it, if your question is that I should neutralize, how to neutralize it?
yes, yes,
Okay, then the answer is very clear, and that is bring knowledge into it, give pratipaksha bhavna. Acquisition can give me happiness by default. Prakrit Swabhav hai. I think it's giving me something. It's gaining me something. I'm going to get something out of it. That sense that I'm getting something out of it is abhas, is not real. I don't get anything out of an object. My fullness doesn't come from an object acquisition. It's temporary. I may get some relief for now by whatever I'm acquiring, but the minute I do this much pratipaksha also, I think that level of happiness anyway balances off. It's for a utility, no? Can I discipline myself to buy something for utility? If it's my utility, it doesn't give me happiness. If I have indulged and bought something, I can tell myself, okay, there are many ways. I can tell myself, okay, this time I have indulged. Let me see how long does this indulgence last? Correct. Daily observation. How long does it last? Okay, I'm indulging. The minute you do this questioning, in other words, the only way to neutralize mind is through buddhi. How will you bring your buddhi in the context is to your gunas. किस बुद्धि को आप उस time apply करोगे? Like I would often say, I gave you the example last time. When I look at money, I said this was in that person's hand and it was his. Now it's in my hand, it has become mine. Now I'm handing it over to a vendor, it is his. What is this feeling of mera paisa?
can you
Is
feel
it,
thankful as well? Like, you
sorry?
thank God you thank Lord for, giving a thing to you. Like, can you feel thankful? Would that neutralize that feeling when you
You
say that
tell
I
me, does
thank?
that neutralize the feeling?
It does to an extent. Matlab, it brings it down, though happiness is still there. But when I thank him, I have a gratitude that thank you that,
Ah,
I,
but that's it then. That's anyway then dissolved. Gratitude if you have, then yes. फिर तो अर्पण ही हो गया ना एक किस्म का. You're remembering Ishvara as the giver. He alone gives.
yeah, he's the Faldata.
He is the Faldata. So if he's given me the capacity to have some certain acquisition, it's his world, it's his material, where am I to, I can only be thankful that I have the capacity and he has given me the capacity that I can enjoy certain things that however limited the desired pleasures can give me, Bhagwan has fulfilled me even there.
Thank you.
I am fulfilled even from that. कि अगर सेंसेस से लॉलीपॉप से अगर आनंद मिलता है तो भगवान has placed a lollipop that I can get and have and वो भी it's already there.
तो दीप्ति जी, एक मुझे बड़ी अजीब बात लगती है, जब तक कोई चीज हमें नहीं मिलती तो उसकी बड़ी वैल्यू होती है. द मोमेंट वी गेट इट, वो हमारे लिए बिल्कुल एक बेकार भी हो जाती है. और
Absolutely.
हमेशा उस तरफ ध्यान जाता है जो चीज हमारे पास नहीं है.
Wonderful.
तो पता नहीं
That this is a human, this is a mind. This is, if you look at from Vedantic drishti, this is what we say is जो हमें हमेशा एक कमी का एहसास लगता है.
Right.
वो जो इनकम्प्लीटनेस है वही हमें खींचती रहती है. नजर हमारी उसी पे जाती है. जो ऑलरेडी है उस पे नजर रहती नहीं है.
उस पे नहीं रहती. हाँ, दिस इज ए पैराडॉक्स.
It's a paradox, yes. Actually it is not, it's a paradox from a Laukik sense, but from Vedantic sense, it is swabhavik कि ऐसा ही होगा till you find your fullness. आत्मा विद्या जब तक नहीं रहती तब तक it is a default.
Right.
क्योंकि हम ढूंढ अपनी पूर्णता रहे हैं. तो इसलिए जो मिल गया वो तो डल गई, जो नहीं मिल रहा उस पर ध्यान जा रहा है ना, क्योंकि अब वो भी मिलेगा तो मैं पूर्ण होंगी। तो अब मुझे वो, जब वो मिल गया तो अभी भी आई फील आई एम नॉट पूर्ण, सो अब मुझे वो मिल जाए तो देन आई विल बिकम पूर्ण। दैट इज हाउ द samsara continues. Okay, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very
We'll
much,
see you tomorrow.
Pranav.
Thank you,
हाँ जी,
Deepti ji.
Yeah, thank
thank
you,
you,
everyone.
thank you very much.
Thank you, Deepti ji. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hariom Deepti ji.
Thank you, Deepti ji. Hari Om.